Hello everyone and welcome to a traditional draft of Strixhaven this time. Alright, so Shile is a pretty easy first pick here. Both of the rares, the white one and the black one, are pretty great actually. So you don't even have to be black and white to play this card. So basically 3 different colleges can use this. So only if I go to Quandrix or Prismari I might not be able to use this card. So not only is the best card in the pack, but it's also the most flexible one. Well, I guess the most flexible one might just be the introduction to Annihilation, because this will always be useful, but obviously power level is quite different with that rare. Now, it is 2 days since I played my, well, not maybe since I played, but since I published my previous Strixhaven draft. Yesterday was my first cube draft in June 2021 cube. The reason is that I initially decided to have the cube drafts as sort of extra drafts, so as a sort of extra draft, but as an additional upload each day, and I would have a Strixhaven draft every day. But like I mentioned in the cube at the end of the draft, maybe not all of you watched that draft, or at least to the end. I actually have a very busy month of June now, so I won't be able to draft that much. So I will have only one upload per day, whether it's cube or something else. Alright, so Eliminate is pretty easy pick. There are good options to Overgrown Arch, Ingenious Mastery. The Ingenious Mastery combines very badly with the rare, and Eliminate is still very good, so I think I'll take the cheap removal. I like Eliminate because not only, I mean, you don't usually get some tempo advantage that much, because this can only kill up to 3 cost creatures, but of course this set has those tokens like fractal tokens. Someone pays 8 mana to make a 6/6 fractal, or 5 mana to make an elemental, and you can kill it for 2 mana. That is great value. Now, no one took a time warp. Not even rare drafted. It's also a fine blue card. Now, it's not like the sickest card, definitely not a bomb or anything, but it can be very good when you are when you are able to attack for some damage, and you can just get a free attack. Of course, you get to use your mana on the additional turn, even though you have to first use 5 mana. So it's a very good card. I would easily first pick it. But is my pick going to be a Combat Professor, or Witherbloom Apprentice, or Time Warp? I think I won't be taking the Time Warp. I just splashed the blue rare. I really like the Witherbloom Apprentice, and I could be black-green here. Combat Professor would allow me to still go to black-white, though. Maybe I'll try the black-white. Hopefully I don't get anything too crazy black-green here. Well, I didn't. There are good black cards and black and white cards, but yeah. I really like the Witherbloom Apprentice. I think it might be the best one. Maybe I should make some kind of, I don't know, top list of cycles. I'm not sure. I would not necessarily have time for that, but it would be pretty interesting to rank, for example, all the pledge mages for limited purposes, all the apprentices, and there are of course a lot of cycles in limited sets. So it might be fun to rank them, but I'm not sure if I have time for that kind of video. But it could be quite fast to do that. Alright, so here Lash of Malice and Silver Quill Pledge Mage are my options here, because I'm trying to play black and white here. I like the Lash, but I really like the Pledge Mage too. But maybe I should take the 1-drop removal. I have Eliminate already though. I actually take the Pledge Mage. I think it's so strong, but Lash of Malice would be easily a good pick there as well. Now here it's a very easy reduce to memory quality lesson for this color combination, and there's not much else here. I guess I could play the Pilgrim, but it's not the greatest in black-white, where you usually try to keep the curve quite low, and it's just a 3 mana 2/1, so stats are not impressive. If you don't really use the land for anything, it is quite bad. Okay, so here, wow, there's a Leech Fanatic which first caught my attention. I would be happy to pick another 2-drop. The Shile can be a 2-drop too. And of course there's the Campus, and there's a nice lesson, but there's a D-Spark. Now I didn't take the Lash of Malice. Maybe I now take removal. Now this doesn't kill everything, specifically not the tokens, the big fractal tokens, but this gets you some great mana value when you find a target for it. And most decks play some 4-drops and, more expensive permanents too. So I will take the D-Spark here over Leech Fanatic and the Cambuster. Alright, Mage Hunter's Onslaught, a perfectly fine pick here over the Expel or the Cogwork Archivist. I'm actually quite happy now that I didn't take the Lash of Malice and I took the Pledge Mage instead, because I found those 2 additional removal spells a bit later. Now, Blood Researcher, is this something I could still move to? There's a Cram Session, but I don't usually like to play the Cram Session in black and white when I try to be the aggressive deck. I could take this for splashing purposes, Contaminate Breach, if I find some way to make it green. I think I'll still take the Blood Researcher. It's not impossible to just move to green-black. Maybe, for example, if the Witherbloom Apprentice for some reason would come back to me, I could easily consider it. And I might even splash cards like a Combat Professor and D-Spark here easily. And this will be a black card anyway, so Shile or Embrose would be played in a green-black deck no matter what. Okay, I'll take the Campus now. The Star Pupil is fine, but I really would like to have these Campus lands. Okay, so there's another Star Pupil. I'm not taking the Infuse with Vitality. I think it's pretty unlikely that I would actually move to green and black here. But the Campus Guide would be okay if I go for a splash, but maybe I'll take a Star Pupil now. I haven't no synergy for it yet, but I might find synergy for it. I take the Eager First Year here. This is a best of 3 draft, a traditional draft, so Fracture would be good. This is a nice sideboard card for those rare occasions you actually need artifact or enchantment removal. But there are some very good bumps that you definitely would sideboard, against which you would sideboard the Fracture, but I'll take the quality 2-drop here instead. Alright, I think Stonebinder's Familiar is not a card I'm gonna play. I'll just take 20 gems here, because I'm so unlikely to play the other cards here. And I didn't, unsurprisingly, I didn't get the Witherbloom Apprentice back. Tangle Trap, Excavated Wall. If I really need to sideboard into a green artifact removal, maybe I can do that. That 0-4 wall is very unlikely to be played. Alright, so this pack is of course very good for me. There's like a, let's say the cards I could pick and they might be useful, but are the weakest ones for me are the Introduction to Prophecy and the Stonerise Spirit. In addition to all those, and I guess Village Rites is also a card I could play, but I don't consider it that amazing. And I guess there's the land, which is a lot better than those ones. Mana fixing that can even enter untapped, very nice, but the actual decision point here is between Eye Twitch, Silver Quill Apprentice and the Lash of Malice. Now with the removal I have here, it probably is not going to be the Lash of Malice. I have only one lesson, so I think I'll just take the Silver Quill Apprentice. It is also one of the better apprentices in my opinion. Just, need to have some instant speed interaction with it and it's going to be great. Now this is another pack that has immediately a lot of cards I just want to take. Thunderous Orator, Umbral Duke, these I definitely want to have, and the Expanded Anatomy. So the decision will be between those 3. Then there's the Owling Shield Mage and with the Bloombledge Mage, which would be fine picks as well. Let's see the curve. I have some 2-drops here. Shile can be a fantastic 2-drop, so I can count it as a 2-drop. I don't wait to play Embrose if I have this on my hand, in my hand on turn 2 and no other 2-drops. Eager First Year, and there's the Silver Quill Apprentice, so 3 creatures. The Umbral Duke does trigger my Magecraft though, and Expanded Anatomy is just so good, but I have no learn cards yet. I think I'll take the Duke because I have a couple of nice Magecraft triggers already, so I'll just take that. Another Eliminate. There's an Inkling Summoning. There's another Silver Quill Apprentice, Rise of Extus. But in the black-white deck, even though Rise of Extus is good, it's actually quite beneficial to try to keep the curve quite low, and you can even play 16 lands in such a deck. The black-white deck can be very aggressive, and I don't usually, well, at least not nowadays, I don't prefer this very high. I will still play it in some cases, and it also can be a very nice sideboard card. But now it's not in a card I'm gonna take. I would want to have the Inkling in case I find actually some learn cards, but the 2 mana spells are so good too. I think I'll just take Eliminate. Because against aggressive decks it kills most of their creatures, and against slower decks it kills their tokens, which they are most likely going to have anyway. Okay, there's a Guiding Voice and an Inkling Summoning here. I want them both, but it's a very tough one because in order to pick this I need to learn cards, and this actually isn't that great with just reduced to memory. It really isn't. So I think I'll take my first creature lesson now, and maybe hope to get one Guiding Voice later in the draft. But I feel like now I'll take the Inkling. Okay, another Umbral Duke, and another Silver Quill Campus. Also Introduction to Prophecy, which I don't think I would be picking over the other two cards. I'll take the Duke, I really like it. As an instant speed 2-1 flyer that triggers Magecraft, it's already quite okay, and sometimes the Edict effect can really get opponent good when their only creature is something significant. Alright, let's take the Duke still. Okay, there's another Star Pupil, but I really don't... I think currently I'm not playing even the one. I actually put it to the sideboard for now. I have 5 creatures, but 2 of them are Umbral Dukes, so I have actually 7. It's an okay amount. 7 out of 11 cards are creatures, so let's see. This could allow me a fight splash, but I really don't like splashing, and I don't like the Clever Lumimancer at all. I think I might take a sideboard card. The ingredient isn't that great either. Divine Gambit, go blank. I guess I'll take the go blank against some decks that have some powerful late game, perhaps. Okay, Study Break. I would actually want to try the Mana Tithe, but I'm not taking it over the Study Break. This is exactly the kind of card I want to have, and now that I took the Inkling, it has, in addition to the reduced memory, it has a creature it can get, and that creature will be almost always a useful card. Alright, so steal all the... and now I get the Hunt for Specimens. So this combination is so open here. It's pick 8 and I have actually 5 cards I wouldn't mind having in the deck. Do I want to take the Laureate now? Leech Fanatic Hunt? I don't think I'll take another Learn card because I have only one lesson. That's always going to be great. I guess I'll take the Laureate over the other 2-drop here. Okay, I still could take the land. There's the Snarl as well. But this is actually tough because I really would like to have the 16 lands in this deck. And when you play 16 lands, it's even more important to have some mana fixing. And this even can enter untapped. So even though the Lash of Malice is very good, I have a couple of eliminates here already. I think I'll take the fixing here. Alright, how is this possible? I mean, no, even... No, I can understand that black-white is open and black-white cards are late, but this goes into any white deck and it's very good, so... Wow, I definitely take it over the Sealed Mage here. I don't need any 5-drops here. Alright, well, I guess I'm not even surprised anymore, but look at this. Inkling Summoning number 2 and another Silver Quill Apprentice. It's a tough one, but I think I'll take the Apprentice now. I have a bunch of triggers for it and a lot of instant speed triggers, so it will be very useful. Alright, so here, Access Tunnel. I have 2 mana fixers, and this is the color combination that has most of the creatures at 3 or fewer power, so this can be a quite nice way to push through some damage when the opponent has stabilized. Alright, Professor's Warning is a fine one. I take the Lumimancer, but I will put it to the sideboard. Look at this. I could go very deep with this, maybe, but I don't think so. Alright, Environmental Sciences. I'm taking it over the Rise of Extus, and over the Hunt for Specimens, because I didn't take the other Inkling Summoning. Maybe I don't take a 2-mana 1-1, especially because I have a bunch of 2-drops here anyway. Couple of Silver Quill Apprentices, the Orator, the Sile, the Eager First Year, couple of Eliminates. Yeah, I'll take the Environmental Sciences here now. And here another Inkling Summoning, probably. Over the other reduced to memory, I would assume that the games when I want 2 of these are quite few, whereas 2 Inkling Summonings is fantastic, and now I can focus on picking more learn cards now that I took a couple of more lessons here. Okay, there is a cram session, but that's not necessarily the kind of learn card I actually want. I don't think I want anything from this pack. I have one star pupil here already. I didn't take the expanded anatomy. Nothing here gives counters except for the Sadewing Laureate, and that's pretty unreliable at giving counters. I guess the Professor's Warning, but it's still not that great. Do I take the Cram Session now? Maybe as a sideboard card. Maybe the Life is Good and at some point. Yeah, I'll take the Cram Session, but I will put it to the sideboard because I probably don't want to play it in the main deck. Okay, well, Mila, Crafty Companion, is actually quite annoying for the opponent. A 3 mana, 2/3 is not great stats, but the ability is pretty nice. If you get one card out of this, it's good, and if you don't get any cards out of this, it means opponent doesn't target your creatures at all, which is, pretty nice situation to be in. A Beaming Defiance is fine, but I do need some creatures, although I do remember a couple of these are tokens, but let's take the Mila. It's also 40 gems, but I'm not really that, I don't pick gems if the pack has something actually useful for me. Alright, so for example here I could take for the 20 gems in Fervent Mastery, but I would take both Beaming Defiance and the Necrotic Fumes over it. Now if I get a Hunt for Specimens back, I passed at least one in this pack. This would be great, so I'll take the Necrotic Fumes. And here, Leech Fanatic, Agonizing Remorse, Eager First Year. Confront the Past. Well, that would be okay if there was nothing that I want for my deck. I think I like the Eager First Year in this matchup, in this deck, archetype more than the Leech Fanatic. The fact this can, deal more than 2 damage and therefore attack against, for example, 3 toughness creatures. Unlike the Leech Fanatic, it makes it better. I don't need the life gain necessary for anything when I have such a, early curve deck that try to win games quickly. Okay, the Humiliate here is pretty fantastic. I wouldn't mind to have the Leech Fanatic or the Witherbloom Pledge Mage, but Humiliate is of course fantastic, so let's take that. A third Umbral Duke, but now it's time to take the Guiding Voice. After all the lessons I got, I'll take the Guiding Voice now. I think I have only the Study Break currently in my main deck as a learn card, so this is a rather easy pick over the third. Eager First Year and the third Umbral Duke. This archetype is so open here. And now I got the Hunt for Specimens, which I will take here with my, especially because I got the Necrotic Fumes. This is basically, if nothing else, it can be a 5 mana exile target creature. And I also got the Reduce to Memory back. Do I want to have it even? Because I could take the Duress for my sideboard. I have Reduce to Memory and Necrotic Fumes here to deal with problematic stuff. I think it's just more likely that I will use Duress as a sideboard card. Well, I guess I'll take the Star Pupil if I want to play them. And the ingredient Beaming Defiance. I think this is my... Well, if I play 16 lands, I will add one more, because 2 of these are lands, I think. No, 3 of those are land. Okay, so that's 22. I could just put the Star Pupils there. I got them. I have the Guiding Voice and the Professor's Warning here. Sadly, no Expanded Anatomy. I saw one in the draft, but I picked something else over it. Here the Confront the Past is actually more useful than the Professor's Warning, because it is a lesson you might actually want to have sometimes. Okay, that was a few gems there. When you have fully completed the set, it's not that hard to get some gems during a draft. And I even passed a lot of cards. For example, the Time Warp. Well, if I picked all the rares and mythic rares I saw, I guess I could have like a couple of hundred, more than 200 gems from this draft. Okay, so let's put in the main deck the Star Pupils for now. I really don't want to play the Clever Lumimancers, no matter how many triggers for them I have. It's just an 0-1. I hate it. Yeah, I think these are cards I won't be playing. The Cram Session. No. 2 mana gain for life. It's just not what this deck wants to do. Not at all. Yep, these will be in the sideboard. And now if I cut a land here, but that if I want to play the access tunnel, can I afford to play 16 lands? I definitely can afford to play 16 lands based on my mana curve. And I also have cheap learn spells, Guiding Voice, and Study Break that can get me environmental sciences. So I will play 16 lands. That's actually obvious now that I remembered the environmental sciences. So, but I'm not going down to 15. Because let's say the access tunnel, it is kind of my land that acts as a spell as well. So I basically, by cutting a land, I have only 15 lands plus the access tunnel, and also the Silver Quill campus has some functionality if I really flood hard. Although this kind of deck isn't usually that great at winning games in which it floods, because the creatures are very small and maybe not so impactful in the late game. So, but anyway, it is a land that has some other use than just tapping for mana. So if I cut a land, I will cut the lands for now actually. But if I play 16 lands and one of them is access tunnel and one of them is the Silver Quill campus, that means only 14 lands that only produce mana. So I will play that amount of lands, and I'm just figuring out. Let's first check the learn. No lessons. 2 creatures, pretty nice ones. The land fetch and couple of exile effects. This exiles a creature or planeswalker. This exiles any non-land permanent. And so yeah, that's a bunch of nice learn cards. Lessons, and then I should go to this mode and put learn here, and this is now 3 learn cards, which is actually quite nice amount for the deck. I think this is just the correct build here. Shile can also be a 4-drop, which is actually, well, in which case he would be Ambrose. So that means I have some, more expensive plays. I won't be able to cast the Luca ever. There's no way to get 2 red mana here, but that's fine. Yeah, I like the Professor's Warning here. I like the Beaming Defiance. I don't like the Star Pupils that much, but I do also have ways to pump them. So, of course, the Guiding Voice and the Professor's Warning are kind of obvious ones. I also can give them counters with Shile, or, well, I suppose with Ambrose, but they already need to have a way to survive the 2 damage at that point. And the Sadewing Law rate, quite unreliable, like I said. There's a Humiliate too. Yeah, I really would want to have the Expanded Anatomy, but I'm pretty sure I took something very good over the Expanded Anatomy. The one Expanded Anatomy I saw during the draft. So they're not greatest, but they can get some additional counters. And no matter, even if you don't get additional counters on these guys, you can, well, if you can trade this with some 1 toughness creature, that's fantastic. But even if you just jump block like a 4 power creature and then, make your flyer slightly bigger, that can be okay. So it's not the worst card when you don't get any additional counters. Because the other option would be to play like a Clever Lumimancer, which I just dislike. And then I could play the ingredient which has like a slight form of evasion and also can be cast in for a card. But I think these Star Pupils are the cards I will just sideboard away when I want to bring in something like a Duress or the Go Blank or Cram Session, for example. Okay, yeah, so this is the deck. I'll just have to figure out which are the more white cards than black cards, double casters, 1 black double caster, and this Shiloh, where is it? Here, this is the double caster, this Ambrose. 2 Mila is double caster. I might have with this 1 mana white cards turns when I play like a white 2 mana spell and this 1 mana white spell. So I think basically because I have more white cards than black cards, I will play more white sources, because unless I'm mistaken, because of the access tunnel, I will have an uneven amount of basic lands because I will only play 16 lands. Yep, so as you can see, I will add 13 lands, so it will be 7 and 6, so my colors will be, with the dual lands, it will be 9 and 8 mana base anyway, plus the environmental sciences that I can get with actually with 3 cards, and 2 of which don't even need, you know, a creature under my control. Of course, the Guiding Voice does require that I have a creature, although that's not a big ask in this deck. So I will put some planes here. Let's take them Basri planes. So 7 of these, and then take the Liliana Swamp. 6 of these. I quite like the deck. Let's see how it does in practice. Yeah, opponent Mulligan, I will too. I have the Guiding Voice, but I don't have even a... If I had a Star Pupil, I might consider it, because I can get the Environmental Sciences in that case, but I would still need to draw another land before I can cast it. But now that I don't have it, I will Mulligan. And this is not great, but obviously not gonna go to 5. Opponent kept 6, I will keep 6. And I have more white cards, so I will have the planes here. Now that wasn't really necessary to draw that swamp there, but oh well. At least I have the Professor's Warning for turn 3, if it's gonna be useful somehow. Okay, blue island, a swamp, and an access tunnel. That's an interesting set of lands in this format. Okay, there's the Beaming Defiance too. I guess I'll just attack for 2 and hope they have a Burying Books. I have to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. Well, that's something I can't. Indestructible won't help, and the Hexproof won't help either. Too bad I didn't have a creature now. Let's see if they have removal for the Combat Professor. If I draw a 2-drop creature, I might even... Oh, well, let's go blank. Or should I discard the Professor's Warning? I think I should. Yeah, I don't wanna miss on the 4-drop. Let's hope to not draw a land. Okay, good. Now I'm happier here. Now I was thinking about playing the 2-drop if I draw it, so in case they have a removal, and then I can have the Beaming Defiance up. But I suppose I just want to have the Combat Professor, because now the good thing is that I can actually, you know, keep the combat, I mean the Beaming Defiance up all the time here. Okay, Frost Trickster doesn't do much. Opponent is, by the way, missing land drops, which means they have 5 spells in their hand. And this board I have here, it's not that great. But I can play this safely because I have the Beaming Defiance. Actually pretty nice, because now the Trickster can't block it. Now that is actually super annoying, because I don't get the lesson now. I would have gotten a 2-1 here. They had a test of talents. They even see that I have a Beaming Defiance in here. So I think I'm gonna offer it. I mean, I'm gonna attack with the Orator now. There's no surprise value here. I was thinking about not attacking with the Orator and just, you know, going for 3 damage here. But now that they know about the Defiance, it's like there's no point in doing that. They are not gonna have a 1 black mana card here. Now I just hope they don't have ways to kill both of these guys. Of course, they go blank. Well, I only lost one known land for it, so it was basically a 1-for-1, but yeah, I do need to start drawing some spells. I mean, creatures, I need to draw spells here. They have a Curate, Whirlwind Denial, they have a lot of counter spells, so they are blue-black control. It's an actually interesting archetype, unless they get a basic land of... That's not an island or a swamp here. It's still it's an island, so they are playing blue-black. That is actually pretty nice. So this will fly now, so that's fantastic. I can get... Well, I can play this pre-combat anyway, because there's nothing... No information to be given here. Okay, Inkling is pretty easy here, because... I can just play it now, and I will do like this, and the Orator will fly. I will deal 5 in the air, and I have quite a bit of flying attackers here. Even if they kill the Combat Professor, I will still have the Orator as a flyer in here. Okay, that will potentially trade with me, and I can't despark any of that stuff. So who's getting the pump effect here? I think it's not going to be the Professor, it might actually be the 1-1. I don't mind if they trade a guide on that thing. Oh, they didn't have a way to jump. Well, that's very good news for me, of course. If they don't have a way to make this fly, it is going to... It means they have to now draw something for it. This is not... actually, a campus would be now better, because I would like to scry. Alright, well, this Humiliate is, of course, very good. I get to see what I discarded, and then the counter is not targeting a creature. Oh, they have that kind of stuff there, so... They're gonna fly with it, right? So... Are they gonna get lifelink for it? They pause for priority, so... I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait. I mean, I'm not in a hurry here, because if they trade with my guy and gain 3 life, I don't want that to happen. Okay, why would they play multiple campus guides in a 2-color deck? Not sure about that. But no target for Despark yet. Well, there's the Scryland. That's of course better than... Well, I guess Access Tunnel would have been even better. But anyway, not a bad land draw. Let's see. I'm going to give the pump effect now to the token here. And now at least they of course have, by the way, mana up because of the Access Tunnel. Did they have 4 mana up on the previous turn? No matter what, I will just attack with everything and see what happens. They won't be getting both lifelink and flying. They can only get 1, so they will still take here. I assume they're gonna block the Combat Professor here. So they're gonna take 5 damage. But yeah, I might actually lose the Despark. This deck doesn't seem to have any targets. But of course they need to draw something else too, because I have 2 flyers here still. So the thing in their hand has to deal with the other guy here. Okay, well, this is actually... I can show them Mila. If they have something that targets my stuff, they should play it right now. Arcane Subtraction, alright. Okay then, so what they're gonna get a lesson again. Another Inkling, so... if I trade here, they will have another Inkling, but they can't... Okay, I will trade here now. I don't see any reason, because they will have 2 flyers anyway. Although if I don't attack now, this will fly, and then they will have to jump block the Mila here. Now I will trade here. I'll just trade here. I might find another flyer easily here. Okay, that's a flyer. So usually you would play, of course. Well, no, it doesn't matter because this will. No, well, I'm a fool. So I will probably play Ambrose, but so flying and vigilance. Yeah, flying doesn't help here. They will have to jump block with the campus guide anyway. Now I could just not attack. Then they double. Nah, I will make them jump block. Unless they again have something, but at least Mila will draw me a card if they have a targeting effect. Nope. And then I suppose it's an Ambrose. Although they are at 1 life, so that might be. It wasn't necessarily the better play here, but it's a 4/4 ground guy, so. Yep. Now I didn't see anything for D-Spark, and they drew like half their deck. There's nothing for D-Spark. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. So should I play Go Blank against their counter spells? I could take Duress too. If they play like Arcane Subtraction, they play Whirlwind Denial, Test of Talents, Go Blank. Yeah, I will have a Duress here, but do I want to also have the Go Blank? It feels like a card I might be interested in having against them. I can easily cut a 1-star pupil here. Okay, I will do it. Especially because they will most likely be on the play, so discard 2 effect is going to be better against such an opponent. Yeah, this is the sideboarding. Okay, that's a fine hand. I have a 2-drop here. That gets me an Inkling. I can go blank at some point. Oh, they could have. They also had a negate, right? They have all the stuff. So they can actually take the hunt for specimens now. They can also take the go blank if they don't like the idea of me making them discard. But they took a combat professor, so they're kind of a late game plan. Interesting. Pledge mage. Yep. I guess I'll take the Inkling first. They know about the go blank, but they still have 5 cards in their hand. They had 4 on the previous turn. Oh, they have planes now after sideboarding. What can that mean? They know about the study break, but I still feel I want to play the Silver Color Apprentice just in case. Or maybe I just play the Shadewing Laureate. Now what cards can they have there? Counterspell, of course. Although Test of Talents and Negate. Didn't they have a Negate too? I kind of think they did have a Negate. So the Whirlwind Denial gets these, but the 2 other counterspells do not. So maybe I'll just attack and see what happens first. I won't mind trading with the Pledge Mates, that's completely fine. Okay, so play this thing. Is it the Denial? Nope. Some other instant. Could be a pub quiz, yeah. But they lost the value now out of it. They didn't even want to trade here. Well, they can lifelink now. But if they attack with a lifelinker... Okay, I have a couple of eliminates. They will be fantastic against the elementals. Closing statement though, that is annoying. So they get 4 life now. Yeah, this is a very good card. Apprentice. They know about the go blank. It might not be that valuable. I could just go for the apprentice into apprentice too. No. Then perhaps, although they will be gaining more life here. It's not nice, but because they will play the token here. I guess I'll just have to trade. I will trade one of the apprentices unless they make this. If they don't play this and play 2 spells, they make this fly and have lifelink. But if not, if it just has lifelink, I will be blocking it. Okay, they chose to raise, which is, I think, quite odd. Alright, go blank now, before anything else happens. And I will, of course, pump. Okay, I will pump the one apprentice here only. I think I will not play the study break, although they had a couple of lands there. Okay, now if I study break, I will be dealing 11 damage. They will be at 5, unable to block. And I will of course get a lesson. The Inkling, they will be able to attack for 8. But if they do that, yeah, okay, let's do it. They can't kill me. Necrotic Fumes, I could use it with the... I could take just another Inkling, of course, but I feel like the Necrotic Fumes will be better. So let's take it. And attack for the full strength. I guess I could leave the 2-1 as a blocker here. So this is at least I'm gonna attack with these guys. But they can't deal +4 unless they have some very weird combination of cards. But them dropping down to 9, they would be at 7 or 5. Yeah, let's make them be at 5. Now they can gain 4 life. But I don't think they can attack with both guys that easily. Okay, they can lifelink. Let's see if they want to go for the 8 damage. They know about the Necrotic Fumes. I can get rid of the Pledge Mage. Okay, they can go for... Okay, they can make it a 6-2. And... but the fact it gains Vigilance is irrelevant. But I'm now at 2. So let's see. Then they are back at 11. So I will exile the Pledge Mage for sure. But what do I want to do here? I can't play the Embrose. I could play the Shile though. Now, how much? No, I can't win them. If I had another Magecraft trigger, would that have done it? That would have been exact because every Magecraft trigger is +2 damage. Currently I have here 7. If I have 2 Magecraft triggers, that would actually have been exactly 11. Because I could play the Shile, but then again, yeah, if I had, okay, no matter, doesn't matter actually. I don't win here now, but I will. Yeah, I know what I do. I will actually exile this deal here. Enough damage to win on the next turn. And make them not be able to. Now this has its risks. I will just lose to any removal or bounce. But if I just attack with these, they're gonna go to 5. Because I'm playing the Shile anyway. If they have removal and I have to jump block with the other guy, I can still win if they are at 5 if I draw a Magecraft trigger. So maybe I will play it safe around a removal spell. And if they don't have removal, of course I have 2 flyers in here. But I have to block anyway here. So maybe I'll block with this thing. Okay, well, I mean, I needed both blockers there because otherwise I would have lost. So let's see if they still can draw business here. Well, yes they can, yes they can. And Umbral Juke is going to mean what exactly? I can make them sacrifice the 4/4 and then force the block in here. That's one way to do things. Because I will pump this thing, I will have 5 damage coming up. And if they block the sacrifice the Campus Guide, I'm assuming at this point they have nothing relevant. If they still have interaction, then I just can't win. So I don't have to play around things that make me lose anyway. So if I make them sacrifice, they will have to sacrifice the 4/4 to be able to block my 5 damage. They will trade with the Apprentice, they will go to 2 and I have a lethal attacker on the next turn, they have no creatures. If I save this to play a creature, it's more risky that way. So let's just make them sacrifice. They could have one of their counter spells, but I guess there's not much I can do about that. They do have something, okay. So they had a negate. So they just happen to draw all the good stuff because I can't attack now. Yep. Campus Guide is lethal. And now, yeah, that was a good set of draws for the opponent. They basically discarded 2 lands to my go blank. And after that, they just kept on drawing stuff. Because I was so many times in a position where I have a lethal if they have nothing. And they multiple times had something. But I guess I did all I could there. I kind of need to draw the eliminates against the 4/4 tokens. Sad that I did not. I don't think there's any changes in the sideboarding, nope. I just need to draw a little bit better now. Okay, Star Pupil into Shile is definitely a good start, especially if I can find the 3rd land. And if I can't, I can play Study Break to get the Environmental Sciences. But ideally I of course just draw a land so I can play Umbral Juke. I could draw a 2-drop too. Let's see if they have a kill spell for the Shile. No, they don't. So now... Come on, lad. Well, Humiliate isn't bad. Definitely is not. But the thing is... I want to keep the counter to Star Pupil, but... Oh, it can't attack in that case. Huh. I mean, I don't... Well, it can, but then I'm kind of like... I don't want to leave the Shile. It would become a 3/3 if they block with the Star Pupil. That is going to be a 2/2. I guess I can discard their removal of bounce spell if they have some. They would have to have 2 in that case. Yeah, let's do it. So, Strategic Planning, Arcane Subtraction, Pub Quiz, Campus Guide. Nothing too scary here, really. Don't care about them wasting time with the Strategic Planning, the Pub Quiz, and Arcane Subtraction. I guess it's just going to be the Arcane Subtraction. I don't care about the Campus Guide. Now, I could just give the counter to Shile right away. Because the Star Pupil is quite good against the... It is quite good against the Campus Guides. I will now offer the trade here. Now they will need to find something to deal with Shile. And I hope I draw the land. That's a 3/3 Vigilance Flyer here. So they're gonna go for the Pub Quiz. Come on, land. It is a land. Too bad. I can't use it. For the mana for it yet. But I guess I'll leave Professor's Warning up. But it's not very likely that they would get a lesson that can deal with the Shile in a way that the Professor's Warning would help here. So that's not ideal. But let's see what they get. I anyway got the land. That is the important part. Now I can start playing my stuff here better. So there's the elemental, which is not really relevant here. They need something to deal with the Shile. They didn't take a swamp and a silver quill. Pledge mage. Campus guide. Don't think I'm gonna go for the study break quite yet. So this is under your control this turn. So I can use this on the opponent's turn too. But they might have a counter spell. But on the other hand, I want to have the Professor's Warning up. Anyway, I'm gonna attack for 3, that's for sure. But I'm gonna make a creature out of this thing. But do I want to do it now and make it a guaranteed 3/2? And give them free reign to do whatever they want on their turn? Or keep the Professor's Warning up? I feel like I just want to create a flyer here and make it a 3/2. This way, if they deal with one of these, well, basically the Shide, I still have a 3-power flyer. Okay, I don't think they can win with the race at this turn. At this time, I can take the 6 here easily. So should I just take the Eager first year, give it a counter, keep the Professor's Warning up? I like it better than having the study break or the go blank. So yep. Yeah, there's no point using the warning now. I could make them go to, 4 life. But it's the same as, dealing. I would rather keep this, keep this up if they have like a, I don't know, removal effect. Yeah, now they can't even attack with the campus guide because I have a 3/3 here. Now they're definitely going to have something, and I drew my eliminate here, so I don't think I want to do anything right now. I could like study break this thing, but it doesn't seem to make any sense. I want to see what they do here, because they will lose if they don't have an answer for the flyer here. They could have a burying books. Create a white and black inkling. So yeah, you can create it, but am I gonna study break now? I feel like they can have the counter spell, and if they do have a counter spell, they still have to block with this thing. Yeah, so they can't deal 14 to me. So I will go for the win here. Force them to have the counter spell. Which they do, and then I can use the Professor's Warning here still. They actually have to jump block the Eager first year, which is quite funny. So now I can give this guy a counter to make it survive, and they will be... Yeah, they will be in trouble. They will be in trouble now. If they have the dragon removal, the Crux of Fate, what's it called? Destroy all dragons or non-dragons. Then they can rat the board. That's a campus guide. How many of them they have? That's a third one. Maybe they just want to have some 2-drops. And I guess if they splash for the white, yeah, now it should be... Yeah, that's easy now. Alright, this is a Very nice hand, and am I going to play the Shile or the Silver Quill Apprentice? I think I want to play the Shile, because then I can play a turn 3 Apprentice, make it a 3-3 right away, rather than wait to get the 4th mana at some point. This is a very good 2-drop. It's also a 1-1 flyer on turn 2. They have something with 1 green mana. That's not a Snakeskin Whale, because a Snakeskin Whale says that target creature you control gains hexproof, right? They have the thing that target creature gains trample and draw a card. Okay, black, that means they can have a Lash of Malice or an Eliminate. That is Reckless Amplimancer instead. Okay, land wasn't a bad one. So definitely just attack here and make a 2-2 into a 3-3. Now I of course want to draw also more creatures, but I kept the hand with only 2, so I can't assume to draw them in multiples right away. I can double spell next turn anyway with Eliminate and Humiliate or Despark. And I got a point of value out of the Shile now anyway. Silver Quill Apprentice is now a bit larger, and in Magic the Gathering having a boost effect of permanent +1/+1, it is actually quite relevant boost in size. So definitely I'm just going to... No, I'm actually... No, I kind of wanted them to see if they go for the double block, but I lose 1 point of damage that way, because I can humiliate now. Well, I guess I can eliminate. I can give the counter to Shile. Let's see. Let's humiliate anyway, because I don't want to lose any damage, and I can give this guy power boost. So they have a big play, and this was the green card they had. Oh, they have a Damogod's Titan, 10 the Pests combination, but I can exile the Titan when they played. Although I want to play the exile the Witherbloom Pledge Mage too. Now they don't have the 4th mana yet. Eliminate can counter the big play, so I don't care about the big play. I think I'll take the Damogoth Titan here now, because I want to exile the Pledge Mage too, and I definitely don't want them to get too great value out of the 10th Pests. Yeah, big play will be countered by Eliminate. Okay. And I give the counter to they don't have a kill spell for... Yeah, let's give the counter to the Shile. And now, of course, if they double block, well, they should know that I wouldn't make this attack if I don't have a trick here available. So they are not gonna double block. Oh, they are. They are going to double block here. So I just eliminate one of these guys and leave the Despark for the... Well, I can't Despark them, but I could use the Professor's Warning. That is actually the decision point here. But it's not so good. Well, I mean, I can make this indestructible and then, you know, give the pump effect to itself and kill the both of them. But I don't see targets for the Eliminate here now. Yeah, let's just use the... Because now I don't care about the big play, because they don't have any creatures left. Now that may seem like an obvious play, but I wanted to make sure that using the Eliminate over the Professor's Warning is what I want to do. That kind of means for the opponent, they know I had 2 options there. Because otherwise this is like the automatic play. Okay, that is a Reflective Golem, which they can. Oh, I'm actually getting punished because because this is something I can't eliminate anymore because I used it. Okay, at least I got an access tile, because of course they can block my flyer with this thing. Well, nothing else is happening now than me attacking with both. They are not gonna jump block here. They will go to 10. I will have my access tunnel. And I will scry end of turn. They played that instead. They want to draw a card with the crash through. They could have used 2 mana to draw 2 cards, but that would have been loss of tempo. I actually could have blocked there. I kind of forgot they didn't have the big play up now. Yeah, I could have blocked and make this go. Make this be a 3-3. Oh well. That was a clear mistake. But at least I get to scry now. So, yeah, that was me not thinking through. I was assuming they have the big play mana up, but of course they didn't have a land drop. Okay, let's get a creature so I can get another counter for that thing. And that allows me to keep my stuff up, so yep. I know what they have in their hand, only trample doesn't actually matter here. So let's attack with both, they are not going to block. Or if they are going to block, that's actually very good for me. I mean, if they just jump block with the Amplimancer, it's just not very useful. On the other hand, the Silverquill Apprentice with the access tunnel can just win quite quickly when they are at 5 life here. Oh, yeah, I should definitely use the ability almost past the turn. So they don't have any life gain, and they have no way to raise me, so I don't care about the spells I know about. I don't care about them being able to make some pests. They won't even be making that many of them. So I basically have lethals here. I can attack with my flyer and the Silverquill Apprentice, but they have the big play. They would need to leave 2 mana up for it though. I don't think I care about... But I could just block with the Eager First Year. Because if they use the big play, that's 2 mana they use for it. Who cares if I lose the Eager First Year? Unless they drew removal, but I have a Professor's Warning. Unless it's an exile removal, but there's not a lot of those. I don't really see why I would... Now let's just take the damage and see what happens. I have here so many lethal attackers. If they tap out for anything, I have lethal, because what I can do is I can use the access tunnel to make one of my guys unblockable and then use the Professor's Warning, which is going to... Okay. Which is going to, you know, with combination with the Silverquill Apprentice trigger, it will make a 5-power guy. That will be unblockable when I have first made it unblockable, when it has 3 power. So, I'm just winning here, right? No need to use anything. I don't know why the opponent is playing so slow. This is a best of 3 match, so they haven't lost the match yet. Just concede and let's go to game 2. It's as if they think they could have something. For 1 green mana they have a charge through. Crash through is of course the red version. Sorcery that gives all your creatures trample. And whatever they're holding here, even if this is something that can be cast for 1 green mana, it's not gonna save the day for them. But I guess they can... Well, of course they could have just lost a connection or have a laggy connection. They could have actually leave these guys as a blockers, and then they have the big play. They don't know I have stuff. I could only hold lands here, and if they didn't make the attack there, they could have left these guys to block, and I might have been unable to have good attacks. Although with the access tunnel, yeah, I had the inevitable victory coming up, even if I was holding just lands. But I don't think the attack, when I was at such a high life total, made any sense either. Okay, so it is a green-black deck, and I saw already 2 targets for the D-Spark. So this time I'm not going to sideboard out the D-Sparks. How about the big play? They have those 2 drops. Do I want to have access to something like a Go Blank instead of the Star Pupil when they are on the draw? Yeah, I guess I can. I don't really like the Star Pupil too much, and I think the Go Blank can be an okay card here. So let's do it. Okay, I have no 2-drop here, but pretty nice 3-drops, although this one requires white mana specifically. But I'm still keeping it. I can draw a land or a 2-drop, and the combined amount of those in my deck is quite high actually. But I drew the land, so I will at least have the Silver Quill Pledge Mage, and the opponent didn't have a 2-drop. I played Shift. I pressed Shift Enter there because I didn't want the game to end for the, pause for the priority on the Professor's Warning. There was no way that I could use the D-Spark this turn, and I had no need for the, give them a counter or anything like that. Just a little trick to maybe not give the opponent information. Well, I don't need to Umbral Juke the Karok here. I will play this and hope it will survive. Because if it will survive, I can Guiding Voice it and then have a Professor's Warning up. Although Lash of Malice doesn't care about the Professor's Warning. But let's see what they do first. Not going to block that, obviously. Now I didn't see a Lash of Malice, I don't think I saw. Because it is very tempting. I guess I could just play the Umbral Juke too. But I could play the Guiding Voice, although I won't be getting anything I can cast immediately now that I drew a land, but it's a Ender's tapped land. And I don't need the Environmental Sciences anymore with the 4th land here. So I will most likely get the what's it called? Inkling summoning here. So I think I will just attack, try to gain 3 life here if possible. Because I won't be using the sacrifice ability against the Spined Karok. Yeah, I will just do it now to at least try to gain 3 life. They can of course have something. They have at least something, but that could be just something like a big play, of course. But let's gain lifelink and see if this can actually connect. And next turn I can play Mila, because I have the 2nd white here. Okay, I also got to connect there. And with the Mila, their removal spells of course are going to be less painful for me. Okay, just an Amplimancer, that is not of concern here. So they have something here that it could be the charge through, or what is it, the charge through, or what is the green thing here. Anyway, you know what it is. Or it could be the big play, or something I haven't seen, or I don't remember to have seen. So let's see if they still attack with the Karok though. Okay, that's completely fine because it's only a 2-power creature. Okay, I got the swamp. So if they have a charge, sorry, the big play, this will become a 5/5. 5/5 that can block flyers. So if I Guiding Voice this guy right now, it's gonna be 4. Then the Professor's Warning won't be that great. I could use it to give a counter, then they just trade. It is a tough one actually. I also want to just play the Mila, but that will leave me only the Professor's Warning up. Maybe I will offer the trade with the Pledge Mates. I want to play the double white card here because I'm also a bit constrained on white mana. I played now, so I have these spells available better. They could have played, for example, the Witherbloom Pledge Mates. So I can do it so that I will just attack with both. And if they have like a big play here and they try to get the Pledge Mates with it, or if they just want to, make the trade here, am I gonna make this indestructible or not? Let's first see what they do. Now it's a question of me just passing here. I could gain 3 life. And this can fly. It is very good. Yeah, I think I will use the Professor's Warning here. I will give it indestructible and a lifelink. Now it doesn't matter if they have a big play or not. This will be indestructible anyway. If they have a removal spell on the Pledge Mage, at least Mila will draw me a card. Big play will leave a permanent counter on it. Okay, infuse with vitality, so that means they will just, it will come back and they gain 2 life there. So that wasn't bad for me at all. So next turn I can actually Guiding Voice and make it a fly. And if they have a removal in response, Mila does its thing. So that's what it says. The latter ability is the relevant one in limited. I think the opponent might think that... Okay, infuse with... Why would they... Okay, now I don't get it. They have a... Oh, they have a... Now I do. They have a Mage Duel. They have a Mage Duel, but I will get to draw a card. But they didn't need the infuse there, because Mage Duel kills the Pledge Mage anyway. Not sure I understand why they wanted to have the infuse there, because they could have just played Mage Duel for 3 mana and the same trade would have happened. They didn't need the Death Touch, they didn't need the ability to return this. Now can they have a 1 mana? But they could have the... Yeah... Yeah, it's a pretty awkward thing. They could have the 1 mana pump spell that gains them... Yeah, I will actually not block. This is indestructible. This has the ability to return, so definitely I'm not gonna trade with this thing. But the trick they could have had there is the... what's the green pump spell uncommon for 1 green? Gain 2 life and then target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life gained that turn. So it would have been a +4/+4 there. I was able to afford to take the damage there. Definitely I was. So now I will just have a Guiding Voice on the flyer. Definitely. And... Oh, I maybe wanted... Oh, I should have considered... Well, I take the Inkling. Play the Silver Quill Apprentice first. Although... Maybe I'll just play the Inkling here. Yeah, okay, I'll play the Inkling. I could go blank, but they will go to 4. If they play a land and 1 spell, they still have 2 cards to discard. And it seems like they have the pump spell, so they are probably not gonna empty their hand entirely. Next turn I can play Apprentice into go blank, unless they have something that I can despark. Okay, more life, but that's really not helping them. They only can, because the Spined Karok is only a 2 power turn 3 drop, it's not really good at raising in damage raise situation. So I'm definitely not worried about the stuff they are maybe holding there. So I think they have the pump spell. So I could punish it with eliminate, or I could just eliminate it. Because I'm not attacking with the Mila and offer the trade here. That's the thing here. I think I just should do it so that I will play now the Apprentice. And still not play the go blank. I will eliminate this guy because this can block. And now I can deal 8 damage to them while still being in a fairly decent shape here. Even if they still choose to attack with all their guys. They go to 8 now. I guess I hope they have a land with a Bloom Pledgemate, which I can despark and then use go blank. Oh yeah, exactly this. I use go blank to get rid of the rest of their cards. So let's see, do I want to... I can play both of these on the next turn to get the Magecraft triggers here. Okay, they attack, that's fantastic. So now I definitely win here, right? Because they don't have more than 1 blocker here. So I exile this, pump the flyer, go blank, pump the flyer, they have only 1 blocker, yep. I guess I could have exiled them on my turn, on their turn too, but whatever. Let's first make them go blank. Flyer. So they had some stuff there. Oh, they didn't have the pump spell, the one I talked about, they only had the charge through. Alright, so let's get this done with. They can block the Apprentice, but they are now, because they attack with the Karok, that's a lethal attack. So the one turn when they attacked with the 2-4, I could have blocked with the Mila. They didn't have a... Oh, or did they have 2 mana up? No, they had only 1 green up. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe 2 green? No, 1 green. I would have... If they had big play mana, I wouldn't have considered the block there. But they had only 1 green up. So they had the charge through. But it was, of course, a safe attack from them because they were not gonna lose their creature. But they maybe wanted to have it as a blocker instead. Okay, on the play, but only 1 land. I have a couple of learn spells. I don't actually even have a 2-drop creature. It is a mulligan. This is... well... not great, because I do need more pressure here. This 1 creature won't be enough here, definitely not. But that is at least one way to add pressure, unless they can kill it right away. If I can untap with the Professor's Warning, that would be ideal. Yeah, let's see. I will use the why did I... yeah, I don't know why did I play the planes when I actually have 2 black spells here. That was a mistake. I was just thinking about the combat here already. Oh, they choose not to. Not to actually block there, which is very good for me. I would have... if they block this, I would have used the Professor's Warning to make this a 3-3. I would lose my, removal counter there in that case, but... Okay, so they just chose to do that, which basically this means that they have, I think they have an arcane subtraction. That's probably what they have, which means that I'm not attacking with the Orator now. I will get an Inkling Summoning here, which I can play next turn, and then the Orator will fly. So I think I will actually play the Specimens. No, I will give it a counter to Orator if the Pupil dies here. That's most likely an arcane subtraction. Or it could be like a removal spell that they want to use in response to me. No, it's an arcane subtraction. That's the reason they didn't block in the previous turn. So now I of course could eliminate the Illustrious Historian, but I don't think it's worth it. I can just move the counter somewhere else, and I can play the Hunt for Specimens in here and leave the Professor's Warning up if they have something like a heated debate. Alright, that is fine too. If they go for the Expanded Anatomy on the Historian, then I can eliminate it. The Biblioplex. That doesn't do anything unless they have exactly 0 or 7 cards in hand, so... And even then it's quite slow. Doesn't even draw a card always, so they chose that. Okay. Well... They have a 1 mana spell available. What can it be? I see if it could be an Infuriate, and that I could be getting good value out of this thing now. Haha, and it was Infuriate. Now, definitely just kill this guy. The other option would be like a Shock or a Lightning Bolt. Okay, let's do this and have the Professor's Warning even up. That was a huge amount of tempo and also some card advantage. They can get this back as a 3-2 spirit, but it costs a lot of mana and it enters tapped and all that. They are at 12 life, facing a 5 power of flyers. Oh, I have double safety nets now. Even if they have a Burying Books, I can use Beaming Defiance. Yeah, that enters tapped, so who cares? I didn't quite have a lethal. I could have dealt 3 extra damage, but I'd rather leave this up as a responses to something they might have to deal with my guys. Another Historian is fine. So, I think I'm gonna eliminate this one. And basically they have to now block the 1-1. And I could go for the lethal, but I also can afford to play around things now. Because it's a possibility they have 2 interactive spells. Let's say Lightning Bolt or Shock and Arcane Subtraction. Because of course I could go for Professor's Warning on something. Then I can try to counter their response with the Beaming Defiance. But this makes more sense. They will be going to 1 life here. And I can still counter stuff they might have. Unless they have like a mass removal, but they can only deal 3 damage to each with the Draconic Intervention. I can save my Orator. And this can make guys just indestructible. Okay. So they had a very aggressive play of going with the expanded anatomy, and then when they also had the Infuriate there, I was able to punish them quite nicely with one of the Eliminates. Now they have 2 Illustrious Historians. How about Duress? They have a Arcane Subtraction and a Infuriate. Duress will be okay against such cards. But then again, the Star Pupils will be good blockers against their 2-1s. So maybe I'm not going to now sideboard Star Pupil out. How about the D-Spark again? I didn't see anything. I guess I will sideboard it out and then sideboard it back in if I see something it can deal with. And I will take the Duress. Oh, I could take the Go Blank too, because it exiles those things from the graveyard. Okay, let's take Go Blank. So that they won't get the token. Okay, I can keep this. I don't recall seeing that much removal from them. So if I can survive with the Shyland, this becomes a 3-3, that's gonna be great. But if they can kill the Shyland, they have the 2-1 here, they can start the race. Yeah, not great for me. Please just read it, don't target it with any annoying spell. Okay, I can't keep the counter on the next turn, which is actually... Okay, definitely now that I drew just a land, I'm not gonna play the Laureate now, I'm gonna use the Eliminate. Am I gonna take the damage first? I'm gonna kill the flyer, it is more important. If they have another flyer, well, would I wanted to eliminate that instead? If they have the 4-drop, then I couldn't eliminate that. But yeah, these lands are, obviously quite bad here. Did I keep a Fall Under? I might have done that. Okay. Let's play the Laureate and see if I can get a piece of value out of the Shile. They have something, sadly. Okay, but now I can at least give it a counter to the Laureate. They might have a, I don't know, Burying Books or something. Okay, whatever they have, it could be a pop quiz only. And now the Laureate gets a counter, and if... Okay, they chose to... Interesting, they chose to kill that instead of Shile. Maybe they have something like a Grape Shot. Because Shile is the more dangerous one in the long game. But I do need to chain into more creatures. I can't actually beat those guys. Alright, Study Break is good. Please don't have another shield. Heated Debate, they did not. So now I will have an actual 3-3 blocker against their guys. Now they could have the Infuriate though. That is a thing that exists. I am tempted to just Study Break. Okay, that dies. Yeah, I will prevent the damage, because I will take 2 from the Pigment Storm, so I will make them. Yeah, I actually can't win them if I don't draw more creatures, but something like a, yeah, my removal options won't be good either. So I need to draw another creatures here. I will not take damage now. Yeah, that's not what I needed here. That really isn't. I'm gonna lose to these 2 ones because I had literally nothing to use to block them. Oh, I go to 8 now. Come on, more creatures. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I lost to these masterpiece tokens anyway, but especially when I just drew lands here. So Duress is even better now that they have this expensive stuff. Yeah, Duress is going to be sideboarded here. And even though I think it still is the star pupil that is the least useful card here. Yep. Not a great hand, but it's fine. At least I have a star pupil for one of their 2 ones. And I have a 3-drop. I don't think I'm gonna study break anything on turn 2 just to get an inkling, because I have a 3-drop here anyway. That is the perfect start. Let's see if they have a 2-drop. Oh well, that's that kind of 2-drop. I can easily just make them sacrifice, because then I can use the Mage Hunter's Onslaught on the next thing. I can attack for 4. I have a study break. Although I can just trade here and have a 2-1 flyer. Maybe that's what I want to do. Okay, let's do that. Because the Eager First here can be pretty awkward against the 2-1s that can trade with it. And that this one can at least fly some damage over. Well, they have a Frost Trickster. Okay, am I gonna Mage Hunter's Onslaught that thing? Ah, yes I am, but this is super annoying. Because I kinda used all my tools. I'm 5 at 5 lands and 5 non-lands. It's not gonna be that great, because this Star Pupil isn't, going to be able to attack that much here. And even if it can, it's only 1 power creature. And this is super fragile just to have a 2-1 here. So I definitely need to draw more creatures. I do have a bunch of them. I actually have played 2 creatures that have died here. One because I chose to trade, and now they have this thing. Okay, well, Guiding Voice is actually one of the better draws I could have done here. I'll just give the flyer. So am I going to trade here? Yeah, I'm gonna trade here. Make the other flyer a 3/2/2. I know I could also leave the Star Pupil as a blocker, but I'd rather deal 4 or take the trade, even though that means they have 2 damage coming up. So let's hope they don't have ways to kill my both flyers. I could have made the one a 4/3, but if they have a heated debate on it, that would be awkward. Oh, they had exactly that. So let's just draw that thing then. Okay, that was my time to be lucky. That was really good. I still have an inkling left, do I not? Well, I have 6 power in the air. You do need to. The opponent, I mean, needs to find their heated debate on one of these. Or, you know, play more flyers, of course. That is a possibility. But if they have a flyer, I can... Well, that can block a flyer, although... It can't do it with that great value. It's only... So let's see, I have the 1 inkling here still. Reduce to memory inkling. Necrotic fumes, yep. Problem is they can block the 2-1, but then again, these are lethal. And I can of course just, you know, deal 3 additional damage by tapping this guy now. If I'm lucky, I draw another 2-drop 2, maybe. But maybe I will actually... Ah, man, I really wanted to draw something there. But I will see now, because they can have a heated debate. I don't need the inkling right away, because this is such a good blocker on the 2-1. So I will see if they have like another flyer or something like that. Oh, well, you know what. Now I'm going to definitely... Oh, those are pretty good against my deck. Well, now I'm very happy about the decision to... to wait with the study break. Now I probably need to reduce the memory here, right? The inkling won't be doing anything. Yeah, I need to reduce the memory. Now that is very good here. So I will not play the reduced memory right now. I don't want to give them the 3-2. And now I have 3 power attackers that have flying. And they have only 1 blocker when I use the reduced memory. And they have only 4 mana and they have 3 life. So basically they need to find 2 ways to deal, 2 answers. One of them they can block. They can just block the Pledge Mages. And then these will both be lethal. So they need to also have like an Arcane Subtraction and something else cheap. But they had nothing. At least not enough. But that was close, because these Pillar Borders, these could have been very awkward. And also they had the Maelstrom Muse. So they basically countered my flying plan here. But I had the Study Break, which was the key to victory here. Well, sometimes you need to draw exactly what you want. And I also top decked the Beaming Defiance exactly after they played the Maelstrom Muse there. So that was lucky in the final game. But sometimes you will get lucky. Yeah, I did like the deck. I would have been actually disappointed if this would have been yet another 2-1 result. While the 2-1 result is very good in traditional drafts, it's actually a long time since I got the 3-0 results. So I'm happy to finally get one, and the deck deserves it. This is actually a very good deck. There's not really much. I guess the star pupils would be some better cards. I could say another Silver Quill Pledge Mage, and maybe another star pupil could be like a... Well, maybe another Combat Professor, then this deck would have been even more amazing. But it was still good as it is. So let's claim the prize, finally 3000 gems. And next video will be either a Premier Draft or another traditional cube. I haven't decided yet. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.